What? What? Where are we?
Who spiked me drink? I was just in the tavern talking to Myrna. Hey, I saw those folks there too.
We're in some kind of fighting pit! Look out! Monsters!
I suppose I got some time to kill.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition!
Make we listen music, Rasta. Yo, we don't have to talk and thing, not just listen. How about I and I just chill?
Cosa sta succedendo? Perché non andiamo avanti?
One baby, two.
Bomba clap, bomba clap,
Sono rimasto
Looks like I'm gonna have to go on a killing spree.
You have qualified.
The time has come. The messengers rushed to deliver the Black Pit's invitations to the best combatants all over Faerun. The headhunters were dispatched to every corner of Tyrell to capture the most intriguing warrior specimen. Some fighters were handpicked by their masters to gloriously represent them in the arena. Some were captured against their will, no better than most exotic animals. And some have joined the fray because they had nothing better to do.
You shall not pass!
Or were just short on cash. The 10 rules are set in stone, and the slider is set to insane. The time is nigh. Let's find out if they will fall, or rather emerge victorious, and become known as the survivors of the Black Pits.
What next? Ah, this one. Are they awake yet? Oh! Rouse yourselves, you lice-laden layabouts! Stand and salute your new master, Baldur, the Entertainer! You may also thank me, since your meaningless lives are about to become infinitely more exciting, and quite likely, a breeze. Gather some equipment, gird your loins, and prepare to fight. Now you, my obedient slave, take care of them.
Blah 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 blah.
Oh, all right.
Here I go.
The first Rasta of Bomba Clat!
Va bene, lo farò.
What do... Oh, more of your sort. All right, I'll get you whatever you need.
Yes, more mortals to twist in agony upon the battlefield.
What do you interlopers want? If it isn't a light weapon, then off with you.
Day is coming soon, and then Baldur shall pay. What's this? More useless captives for the Black Pits? Have you come to buy my scrolls?
You fools have no idea what you're in for. You'd best arm yourselves as heavily as possible. I can help with that, if you've enough coin.
My name is Devlin Terralong. I deal mainly in ranged weaponry. What can I get you?
Greetings, surface dwellers. If it's potions you seek, then my friend can brew something special just for you.
You are Balor's latest troops, aren't you? Yeah. Well, I hope you can at least spit in his eye before you die.
More placings for Balos? They dragged off the bodies of the last one just yesterday. I suppose you've wisely decided that being light on your feet is the only way to prolong your life?
That's right. Light on your feet so you can run away from talking to your own voice.
It is a complicated matter.
I see that Baloth has found another promising candidate to fight in the arena.
Who the hell are you?
I am called Gluralk. Your people know mine by such unimaginative terms as beholders or eye tyrants. You may as well think of me as death, for I have as many ways of inflicting destruction as I have eyes on my head.
If you are so deadly, how did Baloth capture you?
You are wise to ask. for Balor's personal power is puny compared to mine. It should have been impossible, but Balor did not defeat me. He tricked me through illusion and deceit. He lured me into an anti-magic field that neutralizes even my awesome gazes. Even then, he required the aid of his Jinn servant. You see, therein lies Balor's true power. The combined strength of his willing allies and bound servants. Servants like you.
It appears you're no freer than I am, if even that's a word.
I have my pride, but there is no point in denying an obvious truth.
That's surprisingly reasonable attitude for a set of floating eyes. How's that working out for you?
I have been Balor's prisoner for many years. In that time, I have witnessed so many of his entertainments that the monotony begins to threaten my sanity. One day, he says, when he has found a champion able to best all of his other discoveries, he will release me to put an end to the spectacle.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
How should I know? I am a beholder, not a mind flayer. Still, if you think you are strong enough to become the champion of the Black Pits...
I am definitely strong enough. After I defeat everything and everyone, I will see this lousy draw burning on a stake.
Interesting. I am familiar with the sort of foe Balor is likely to pit against you. I could offer you counsel from time to time. Sometimes the key to victory is not obvious to those who have not previously witnessed the opponents in action.
So what's next in the store for us?
Balor always tests new combatants with a fairly straightforward battle. Bolster your defenses with magic, and you will have an advantage.
Dear Diary, it's always funny to me how close you are to the other word related to the milky stuff. Anyways, I am not in slightest and funniest of situations. When I signed up to participate in the tournament, I did not know it would result in me getting a tranquilizer dart to the neck and waking up with some kind of cursed ring on my finger. It's also funny how this also describes some people's relationship history. I'm trying my best to stay focused, but I'm anxious about not being able to leave here anytime I want to set some random stuff on fire. So I'm stuck here with these people I don't know anything about. Some of them seem not right in the head, but maybe it's just our common denominator. For now I will refrain from interacting with them, as I need to figure them out. And what better way to get to know someone than going into battle side by side with them? Right.
It took you long enough, you pathetic pack of peripatetics. Are you ready for your very first battle in my arena? I have a crowd waiting, and I want to show them around. Huzzah! Now then, are you ready to hear what fearsome foes you'll fight first? Before any of our unwilling warriors wastes our time in a meaningful match, we like to warm them up with a little light exercise. That certainly could have gone worse. You've proven you can stamp out the weakest of opponents. Now let's see how you do against some who have eaten in the last 10 days.
Dear Notebook, I hope this is not how those legendary black pits look like. There is nothing legendary about killing some stinky gremlins. Anyways, I feel that I must be honest. There was no tranquilizer dart to the neck.
come vuoi, devo ignorare. Consideralo fatto. Però tutti alla vittoria. Sì, mettiamoci al lavoro. Stai aspettando che i nemici ci vengano incontro? Quando tutti falliscono, metti davanti il nano. Vendicherò 3 volte la tua morte.
After the second fight, we relaxed for a bit. This way I had a chance to find out some things about the others. This guy over here, Mordigan, is a regular high school guy. I asked him what is he doing here, so he told me that it was either this, or working the dishes at the Elf Song Tavern. Or emptying the chamber pots at the Red Chief Inn. So I asked him, was this dude shouting really loud all the time? His old schoolmate, but now he wishes to be called Xiangsu. Nothing better than in classmates who come up with their own nicknames. He encouraged me to ask him myself. Still, Mordigan told me to divide everything he says, at least by 4. To be done with it, I asked him could he tell me anything about himself. All of a sudden, this serious voice started talking to me from out of nowhere, so I was confused for a bit. After a couple of seconds, I had to turn on the subtitles to translate this speech to a more comprehensive language. The voice continued to recite Xiangzu's colorful biography.
When his master brought someone from a rival faction to his school, Xiangzu decided to flaunt the superiority of his own style to the stranger. He lost, and out of anger, left the school, signing up for another newly appeared school which taught a new style and rapidly grew in popularity. After training for a time, he almost won the local fighting competition until that same stranger beat him for the first place. Xiangzu fled again, and swore to learn every style in the world until he could find one this stranger, now his mortal enemy, could not win against. Wandering aimlessly for days, he eventually got captured and thrust into the Underdark and, subsequently, Baloth's Black Pits. He decides not to let this opportunity pass and use his current situation to train until he becomes just unbeatable enough, fueled only by rage and hatred in the face of loss.
Talk of dark and brooding, this guy is on another level, because even listening to him would make anyone angry too. And somehow, Mordigan understands this black speech. He explained that he knows language because one time he heard that chicks dig it even more than playing the guitar.
Admirable, but mistaken.
According to Mordigan and his translational powers, Thorn was captured a long time ago and he was stripped of his powers by Baloth's magic just for his amusement. His name derives from his birth process, and he described it as a painful ordeal for both parties. This guy here, as you can see, is all about color red. Much to my surprise, his name is not Crimson Red, but instead, he is called Kristoff. For some reason he especially hates anything green. Some of us think he actually can be colorblind, because he can't tell what's the number on this picture. And the last one of this bunch.
What's the strategy for your next battle?
Aim at the board and thing. Don't miss. That's the best.
So, without any further ado, let's bring it on.
Follow me.
They may not look like much, but these gibberlings have passed inspection. Unlike that last sorry game. You'll have to break a sweat to slay these savages.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Morte ai nemici! Ai! Har har har!
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
The first wrath of a technique, don't be a technique.
Well done, my precious pugilists. You've certainly proven that I picked well when I picked you to perish in the black pits.
Dear piece of paper. I think the next fight is when we are going to fight for real. I'm very excited about that. Since I'm in such a fine mood, I think it is a good time to tell you it happened to me some time ago. Few years ago, I was encouraged to go on a particular student exchange program. It sparked my interest in burning things you would not consider burning otherwise. And that's it. Anyways, thanks to this, I am actually an expert in Bob's motherland.
Relax now, brethren! The first rest of take these 2 games, take it!
I cannot say that it is a useful skill, but at least it's something I could put in a resume at the time.
Kan Morfs nie nou weer? Het ook op de sjakel of dat giet much.
We don't need to speak and think on this journey. Let's get some tunes for this trip, brethren. You can throw them darts and ting!
On the topic of Bob, he is a kind of naive person with his pacifist philosophy, but to give credit where it's due, he's most likely the best flute player on the coast. Some claim it is not a flute he is playing, but a miniature bong.
Devo ignorare il dolore.
I don't know what is wrong with this guy called Thorn, but he enjoys talking to me and Mort again. And again, he spilled his guts on us by telling a story about some nasty stuff from his past. Years ago, in order to free his mother, he had to fight the remnants of enemy Orc tribe.
Presto avrò bisogno di riposo. Non vi deluderò.
Insurgents, culture, Imperium.
Cosa sta succedendo? Perché non andiamo avanti?
When he found her, she was totally alien to him.
Non vi deluderò.
You feel hurt us.
He told us that after years among those savage orcs, although she was free, his mother never really came back. There is no time to spare, as we are up for our proper debut. Wish us fortune in this battle, because certainly we are going to need it.
Ah, you have returned! Are you ready to spill blood on the arena?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official first match of the Black Pits. The first battle is co-hosted by me and my dear friend, Met Demon. Met, say hello to our viewers.
Thanks Renzo, and hello everyone, I'm Met Demon, and it's really nice to be here.
The south part of the arena is occupied by the newcomers, led by none other than the community's favorite, Burngloria. Met, let's properly introduce our fighters.
Let's go then. Starting from the left hand side we got a chaotic neutral jester called Mordogan. In his cover letter he wrote, "Here for a good time, probably not a long time."
That's very funny indeed. Moving on. Next we got a very interesting personality. It's none other than Christoph, the Paladin Inquisitor. As for his motivations, he wrote, "Greenskin life doesn't matter." His resume read that he used to be an accountant in Spanish Inquisition solutions for 50 years, and the first time he picked up a sword was a week ago. Also, he says he's lawful good, but that's a far stretch to say the least.
That's right. Next in line there's the chaotic good bard named Bob Dylan. His resume says that he was named after famous Jamaican musician called Bob Dylan.
I'm sure that his mom got this totally right.
Yes indeed. Moving to his right, there's a warrior with the most colorful past, but when asked about his portrait he said he had to cut it out from his college yearbook.
Starting from the back position, there's Thorn, the group's cleric. As for an introduction, he just hates evil characters and orcs.
Well, I can tell you, if that's the case then he is in the real deep with this team.
And last but not least, the pack's leader, Burngloria. As you might have known, she's a very huge fan of all things fire. She is the hottest of the team. Too much?
Yeah, too much.
Too much. That's why from now on we probably should use her other profile picture.
Prepare yourselves, my underdog gladiators. A gruesome fate awaits you at the hand of this motley mob of miscreants. I yanked them from a shabby saloon. Perhaps the victors can celebrate with a drink.
In the north, we got the Plan B team.
The balance of that team looks really great, as they have all the bases covered. They got spellcasters, clerics and good-looking frontliners.
With this out of the way, let's start this battle. The newcomers rush into offense immediately. They cast horror and sleep, while the rest close in the distance. The strategy works as nearly the whole B team is disrupted by opener spells. Mordenkainen supports with bow. Dylan goes for singing protest songs. Burngloria launches the magic missile. It works. We got first casualties on the B team. But what's that? Thorn just got stabbed through the heart by the Gnarl fighter. How's he still standing? He takes 36 damage, and after a second he goes down. Let's see that on an instant replay. Bob Dylan objects and sings louder. Mordenkainen goes for another horror and is super effective.
It's gonna be a slaughter. The B team is pretty much out of the game.
That's interesting. Already defeated, Thorn got confused by Mordenkainen's bard song, which made him come back from the dead and attack his own team members.
I think he got confused about Mordenkainen's song selection enough to rise from the dead.
Thorn goes down again, and Burngloria launches the magic missile. Just to be sure he's out. Her team must take the opposing force out before the team comes back to fully functional state.
That's correct, Renzo, as their focus should be the helpless enemies laying flat on their back, not the two frontliners flailing about.
Xiangzu smacks an owl with his sticky stick, but he comes back at the Inquisitor. The question is, will they handle his damage? But together, they finally manage to bring down the walking dog. They quickly refocus on the downed casters.
It's an absolute massacre. What a play from Team Burngloria.
The B team has lost, and the remaining fighter runs around the arena scared for his life.
I guess he's not scared enough to forget his potions.
But it won't take long now. There's no place to run. And there he goes. Team Burngloria wins the battle with one loss.
Congratulations! You have slain a bunch of boozy bumblers. Najim shall ensure that you are rewarded appropriately.
Thorn was the first one to go. I really don't mind him being gone, but what really scares me is losing all my power and skill.
Relax now, brethren. Bumblecard!
I can't imagine the horror of losing my link to the fire within me. I carry the blood of the dragon, but some of the others think that I just played too much of the other thing. When the time is right, I will turn them into ashes. And then I will be happy to remind them of this mockery. Anyways, we got a new intern. I don't know her real name, but I guess Pinky Wimp will have to stick for now. She is very close to herself, but that's one thing about her that does not annoy me. I think Bob sensed I'm vexed by her presence. He wanted to cheer me up, so he told me that once he was offered a very certain deal,
I shall fulfill your last wish, mortal. Tell me what is that you want in return for your soul.
Nice. Champion sound, wicked. Jacob owe himself a big spliff now.
What's that? Come again.
We're grinding up some gal tonight. A gentleman's club, Rasta.
It seems that he could not understand Bob's response, so the deal could not be made. Later that day, I went to visit the big eye. He gave me kinda scary advice.
Whenever you face spellcasters, be sure to eliminate them first. Without their support, the other combatants will fall more easily.
I think I realized that I make for a prime target on the battlefield. I also got the first fetch quest in my life.
Hello, you seem like adventurers. Do you know an elf named Alwyn the Illusionist?
Well, not really. Why do you ask?
If you see him, could you give him this note?
You better have something to offer for that. A couple of XP points won't cut, and you won't fool me into doing something for free with that sweet tone of yours.
Do you have any surprises for your enemies? Oh great Xiang Zhu, please share your advice for any newcomers to the Black Pits.
Or don't hit back.
It's time to go, so you better wish me luck. If something goes wrong and I'm not back within 15 minutes, please self-destruct.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's main attraction. Straight from the Black Pits, it's your co-host Renzo.
Together with me, Met Demon.
Met Demon, given your vast combat experience, what can we expect from tonight's battle?
I believe it's not going to be pretty for Burngloria fans tonight.
Fair enough. Please introduce today's new fighter.
Her name is Elia and she likes flowers also.
Ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Well spotted, my friend.
Behold! Your next adversaries are a pack of punchy hobgoblins I picked up near Waterdeep. I promised them freedom if they perforate you, so they're just itching for a chance to escape.
Okay, that's it. I gotta sleep.
Either that or my delousing spell needs work.
Now let's go into the fight. From the start we can say that it's a fair challenge for Burngloria and her team.
That's absolutely right, Renzo. Ranged fighters are especially deadly for low-level characters. If they would open up on just one character, they probably would kill him on the spot.
Let's hope they did not hear your remark. Time to fight. Team Burngloria does not waste any time as they go for AoE spells in the very first seconds. Even Bob contributes by casting Sleep.
That's the best a pacifist can do in this situation.
So I kicked him in the head until he was dead. I can't believe I just said that.
Mordibane goes for the confusing song. And again, it seems that Burngloria's enemies are mostly disabled.
Oh my god!
This is a total war here. The Inquisitor takes on 2 hobgoblins and level 1 Elia goes for the backstab, and she landed.
That's totally amazing. Really brave on her part with just 6 HP. Take a look at that. Mordogan confuses one of the hobgoblins.
Burngloria puts down the warriors, and what's that? The last standing wizard goes for a spell. It's a lightning. How Xiang Zhu avoided it is beyond me. He hits his own, but it looks like the bolt goes for Bob. Bob is out taking massive damage from the lightning, while the team runs for their lives. Bob is out, but it's not over, as the bolt goes for Xiang Zhu. In this suicidal attack from the hobgoblin wizard, the 2 of them are out.
It does not stop there as they are tormented by the lightning bouncing off the arena walls. They don't get any peace in their death.
What a devastating start.
Expects the Spanish Inquisition!
And the team is 2 fighters down.
This surely was not the part of the plan.
Sure it wasn't. I don't know what they are going to do about it. It's time to regroup, and surely the team is going back to business. Elia takes down the Archer and Burngloria missiles the horror wizard. What is she doing now? Oh my goodness. She goes for it. She uses the dragon breath and it toasts 2 hobgoblins. Elia goes for the other Archer. He is out. They are out. The hobgoblins have been eradicated, but the price was paid. Let's take a look at the replay of the lightning bolt attack.
What a madman true display of insanity on the wizard's part.
I'm sure this spell is not an option for Burngloria as it's too risky in this scenario. And once again, Burngloria and her team wins the battle.
Goodness! The look on their faces when they realized they would never again see those disgusting dens they call home. I think that deserves a bonus.
This was a hard battle, and again, there were casualties. We've lost 2 souls today, and one of them I started to actually tolerate. I've dropped by the big I think for a cup of coffee. I brought him semi-fluid, as I figured they might be all dried up because of observing the cell walls all the time. He was pretty confused about it, but in the end he said thanks, and gave me a piece of useful information.
Are you prepared to face your next match?
Well, after the last one I am not sure I am prepared to tie my own shoes.
The best way to stop a river is to cut it off at the source.
A rather cryptic one, but when life gives you matches, you just burn the place. And now, I have to deal with those two. It appears that Miss Wem Pink and Miss Short Green are friends from before the pits. I got to hand it to Miss Short Green. She has a very sensual and silky smooth voice for a halfling.
I'd kill for a hot bath right about now.
Oh my.
Curiously enough, they are both shadow dancers, or at least that is what they claim they are. Anyways, from what I've heard there was supposed to be another fighter here, but it seems whoever he or she is, they're not here. We don't have any time left. We will face our next challenge as 5. It is so unprofessional, but on the other hand, it means more flaming glory just for me.
Ah, you have returned! You ready to spill blood on the arena floor?
And once again, straight from the Black Pits, it's your co-host Renzo, joined by my friend and co-host, Met Demon.
Thanks Renzo, how are you?
I'm great. Please do the honors, and introduce our newest gladiator.
Right, as you can see here, from the start Team Burngloria has a disadvantage of fighting as a 5-piece party. The newest team member is a bloodthirsty shadow dancer halfling called Snaketail.
I do enjoy toying with lesser spellcasters. I captured this insolent little necromancer running for his life outside of Mensa Barenza. How we got there, I don't know. But he does summon skeletons with supernatural speed.
This might be interesting. So, without further ado, let's get down with the sickness. Team Burngloria closes in on the enemy, and take a look at that. What an absolute wipe. Burngloria wastes no time, and reduces the skeletons to ashes with the fireball wand.
That's an absolutely brilliant play, and you can see that she has a lot of fun with it.
The necromancer did not see that one coming. Morda game casts Grease as a backup plan and the team goes for the main game.
This cannot go well for the necromancer.
Kristoff misses with the dispel. But take a look at that. It's already over.
That's amazing.
I believe we just saw the fastest knockout of the Black Pits.
Uncanny! You seem to have a knack for killing things that are already dead. If only you displayed a little more flair and enthusiasm for your work.
Much to my surprise, the last challenge went well, and actually it was pretty awesome. It's fair to say that for a team so unbalanced, this time we kicked some bony asses. Kristoff says that Ellie is pretty okay, but probably that's because she wears things close to red. Well, maybe she is kinda okay after all. And there she is, the warrior we were promised, but apparently the one we did not deserve. We asked why she wasn't here last time, but she straight up said that she overslept.
I'm a fine-looking strumpet, ain't I?
Actually, we were so happy about how the last battle went that we pretty much ignored it. Morale was so high, that even Mordigan received some unwanted attention.
Oh, you want me? I'm dying to get out of these clothes.
I think that's probably the best that Mordigan can pick up. This time around, Mr. Floating Eyelids was not in the mood for word weaving. To get him going, I've decided to tell him a joke. So, a woman comes to her temple to make a confession. I've sinned, she says. I have committed a bodily sin with a cleric. Not from our temple, but from the other one. That's preposterous, says the confessor. It seems that you have forgotten that you already have a temple of your own.
Are you prepared to face your next match? A pack of warriors bearing down on you may be fear-inspiring, but the same group sound asleep is far less terrifying.
Oh, all right.
Ah, you have returned! Spill blood.
Welcome everyone. How's it going? I hope you are ready to rumble as we are. Is that right, Met Demon?
That's right, Renzo. Let's bring on the heat.
But first, could you tell us something about our newest combatant?
Her name is Oversleep Alasha, and I think she is the most self-conscious person on the team. She has some really awesome stats, I gotta tell you.
That's absolutely right. Can't wait to see her bloom in the arena.
While the spell is mightier than the sword, something is lost during a subtle spell duel. What is that elusive quality? The visceral impact of body blows, the crunch of bone, and the rending of flesh. Behold, a team of pulverizing pugilists ready to pound the precious life out of our proud defenders.
As you already see, Team Burngloria is in big trouble, as her opponents are able to smash them easily. But our heroes do not waste their time as they launch their AoE and command spells to great success. Take a look at that. Half of their enemies are sound asleep. It doesn't change the fact that they are still in big trouble. They barely dodge the ogre. The mage goes for the spell. Brilliant move by Christoph as he dispels the mage. Mordecai trolls the hell out the ogres by playing the song that they hate. Burngloria goes for another sleep spell and it works.
There is nothing to celebrate yet as the ogre mage goes for another spell. He magic missiles Snaketail and she is out of the game.
That's bad. Really bad. It's going to be a massacre as the teen is scattered and hunted by the walking muscles made of chicken and Brussels.
Do you want to take a look at me, Diddy?
Burngloria goes for the fireball from the wand and it's devastating. Mordecai takes the risk and successfully casts sleep. What a genius move. Burngloria pulls the one trigger once again, and the ogres fry like chicken wings. Oversleep Alosha finds that remarks very funny.
Ogre Mage did not take that insult lightly and he just one-shot the laughing lady with a single magic missile.
Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Team Burngloria is down to 4 and Oversleep Alosha went back to sleep. With no time to waste, Mordecai casts slow to gain upper hand in this frantic chase, while Elia makes an attempt to backstab the mage. Burngloria summons some meat shield. Christoph gets maged by the ogre, and is down to 4 HP.
What a dramatic fight. Team Burngloria is almost down to 3 warriors. But wait, look at that. Christoph took it like a champ and that's not over for him as he gulps the potion.
Mordecai drives the ogres nuts with his singing and Delia lands a side stab on the ogre. Burngloria goes for the missile and Mordecai summons equally annoying creatures. The mage ogre is down. Burngloria and Mordecai go for sleep and horror, waging a psychological warfare on the ogres. Immediately, the bard starts annoying the ogres once again, and Elia disappears in plain sight.
I have not seen more frustrated ogres than those ones here.
Truly they do not know what to do as all their senses are tortured. It's a madhouse here. A kobold shoots down the ogre as Burngloria burns the ogre. Look at that one lucky kobold.
I refuse to believe that this was not planned.
The table has turned, and now the ogres are powerless. One by one they bite the dust. And look at Burngloria. She uses her clever position to cast the Scorcher. She is blazing cool while at it. And dogs are eating the other one alive. The victory is there. What a stunning game.
Well, you may be able to take a hit, but you certainly won't make one fighting such dull brutes. I must provide a more engaging foe for our next fracas.
Well, that was something. We nearly got decimated. To be honest, I am amazed that I survived it at all. Bailoff stepped up to the plate this time around. In my opinion, only thanks to Mr. Deathgaze we have managed to pull through. The Ogre Mage one-shot us with his spells one by one. This time around I'm just lucky to be breathing. Christoph, Oversleep Alosha and Snaketail were not so fortunate. If I was targeted by any of his spells, I'd be either a toast, or a mush on the arena floor. Ellie revealed that Snaketail rescued her from captivity and introduced her into arts of shadow dancing. It's fair to assume that she was her mentor. I admit that I do not fully comprehend the meaning of losing someone I care about. Maybe that's because I never cared about anyone. But then again, no one cared for me. I cannot be grateful to and for anyone but myself. All I have is because of me and my resolve. But to think of it, I could be thankful to that one lady that bothered me once. I was having a drink at my favorite tavern, the Mithras Inn, when she approached me. She gave me this pamphlet about that student exchange program that changed my life. To be honest, I think I would not have paid her any attention, if it wasn't for her beautiful orangey red hair, that she hid underneath her black cloak. And it was 50% off with it, so it was very enticing. I had a feeling that I saw her somewhere before, but this premonition was not as strong as my confidence that it was actually the first time I met her. Okay, enough about me. Back to the pink girl and her personal loss. Maybe I did not understand the nature of their relationship, but I experienced a feeling that I guess I could describe as some sort of pity for her state. Yes, that's weak on my part, but not as much as it's on hers. All I had to leave me somewhere in my life was this stupid pamphlet. I was lucky it was not some religious cult BS, because I might have ended up with no eyes.
Heed my words.
We have been chosen as the recipients of a most holy miracle. I, Gaul, I who have been stripped of my eyes most mercifully, have been shown the truth that has eluded the sighted. The gods that you worship are false gods.
Or something worse. Ellie said something about Snaketail rescuing her from captivity, but she stopped at that. I think she did not want to share anything more today. And then, the fresh meat arrived.
Fresh meat.
And boy were they a trio to talk about. First, we got this Duergar fellow, whose name was kinda difficult to pronounce. We nicknamed him Carlos Chippendale. See Chippendale for short. But then even that was kinda long, so we settled for plain old Chip. If a used car salesman was a character class, he would definitely fit, but the next best thing for him was to become an evil cleric.
Agreed.
And here's this quiet girl. She is very much to herself, but she reminds me of someone really famous. Now I remember, she's an actress. By pure chance I saw her once at the Five Flagons Inn Theater. She performed kind of a really grim pantomime about some family drama. A little bit too artsy-fartsy if you ask me. And the third one is really something. We asked her name, but she only replied with a short grunt. So we simply called her Unji. For those who survived, the last bout was something else. It got many of us to reflect about our lives. Mordigan told me that it bothers him, that there are really nasty places in the world. He told me about music stores where employees are annoyed when customers play certain tunes. He wished he had power to change this cruel and perpetual scrutiny brought upon young musicians. Really a fascinating and interesting world problem to take on. With our fighting capacity significantly reduced, we needed every advice we could get, and a sound advice was given to us.
Divide and conquer is not always the winning strategy. There are times when you should all focus on one target.
It looks like the next battle is going to be pretty much 6 versus 3, because experience-wise, the trio that joined us hardly counts as anything. Thank you everyone for following my adventure, but I'm pretty sure this is the end of me.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again from the Black Pits, it's your co-host Renzo.
In Met Demon on his second mic.
Tonight we have a special treat for you, as it's the Clash of the Titans. In the south, we got Team Burngloria with 3 new warriors among their ranks.
First we got Mr. Chippendale, who's an evil cleric that only believes in red spells. Next, it's a mighty half-orc cleric thief called Unn, and her thing is that she does not hold intelligence in high regard. Last but not least, it's a thief mage named Banter, and to quote her, here to slap boys in their backs with a quarterstaff and chew bubblegum and kick ass.
We should mention that Team Burngloria is at a severe disadvantage here, as half of her team got obliterated in a clash with the tribe of very angry and annoyed ogres.
That's right, Renzo, and clearly Burngloria is the underdog of this fight.
You've beaten my hobgoblin, which means you're exceptionally strong. You've also bested my pet spellcaster, which means that you've studied well. I can clearly not rely on one extreme or another. So instead, I shall crush you with a combination of combatants. Carry on!
Up north they are facing Team Kranka, which sports a well-balanced mix of clerics, casters, and fighters. And they look really nasty when compared to Team Burngloria. Let's not linger any longer, and may the fight begin. As usual, Team Burngloria does not waste any time as they launch a slew of offensive spells at their opponents. And what an interesting tactic. They use grease mixed with horror, but take a look at that. The archer nicks away 4 HP from Banter, and she is down to 1. Team Crank are down on ground in fumes and grease. Team Burn moves to the right flank but Burngloria stays, as she caught some grease on her legs. And the slaughter begins as they chip away the caster's health bar first.
Amazing strategy by Burngloria and her team.
The team moves further to acquire the next target. Cyril the archer gets spiked with arrows and darts. Burngloria launches MF to weaken the dwarven fighter running around the arena. The archer goes down, and it's 4 versus 6 now.
Next they target the thief as he is an easy pickings due to his lack of armor.
And he's out. 3 versus 6. The crowd wears off.
Even the 3 of them could easily wreck Team Burngloria by that point.
It was a calculated risk, but for now it pays off. The horror wears off the dwarf, and Team Burngloria might be in trouble.
They successfully interrupt. Nice save. Burngloria tries the other fighter.
Oh no, the spells wore off. But look at that, the grease still sticks. The cleric goes for another spell, but there goes another interrupt. It's 2 versus 6 now, but it's not over yet. They projectiles bounce off Kranka's armor, but here's Burngloria with a sculpture and the fighter goes down.
Amazing timing from Burngloria.
Burngloria should remain cautious. And once again, the armor protects the dwarf very well, as he struggles to break free from the grease. Will he make it? No, he won't, as Burngloria nonchalantly steps away and teases the fighter.
This is kinda sad.
Not for me. I hope they won't run out of bullets and arrows. And there he goes. The team frantically tries to help their leader. The dwarf resembles a porcupine, but he does not surrender. Finally he goes down. That was another amazing play from Team Burngloria.
Inconceivable! Get out of here and take your reward with you. Ridiculous! Outstanding! Impossible! Fantastic! You've managed to crush everything I've thrown at you. Clearly, I have excellent taste in selecting gladiators. You've survived for longer than I expected and gained quite a following in the process. But don't worry, you'll be dead soon enough. I've dug out some of my rarer beasts. Very soon now, they'll crack your skull open and feast on the gooey innards.
I'm not sure if I'd rather kill you just now, or save you for later.
Oh, don't be such a preposterously petulant persnicket. I'll tell you what. Because you've been so gracious about all this kidnapping and forced to fight to the death business, I'll give you a reward. Now go get ready for your next battle. You'll most likely be slain, so it's probably time to perform whatever funeral rituals your culture requires.
I could not believe it. Even though I did not expect that we would survive at all. We went through them like a fire through a bush. There was some luck involved. If not for some strategic maneuvering, the last dwarf left standing would easily rip us all to shreds. The Olaf was so pleased about the ratings on the TV that he got us a brand new place as well. The place was very impressive. It made us feel like rock stars. It had all the appliances, the decor was quite astonishing too, and we had a place to get proper rest. Finally we got a space where we could hang out with no armor on. And I like this girl here. I really get on with her well. When we talk she just nods whenever she agrees, or she snarls condescendingly whenever she does not. That's one simplistic approach to life worth admiring. I finally found someone willing to listen to me. But in return, she doesn't speak that much. It's totally not what her name would suggest. In fact, I don't recall her talking at all. And because of her, I thought that it's actually kinda good to have allies. I changed my mind about reducing nearly everyone to ash. I figured they would make better subordinates than useless smoke skeletons. I had a conversation with Unji, if you could call that a conversation. I easily convinced her that I am the daughter of a dragon, and then promised her to burn villages of her enemies. But that's only if she would remain my loyal guard forever. Think of this as a win-win situation. 1. I get to burn some lowly creatures. 2. I receive a walking meat shield. 3. She eagerly accepted my proposition. Mordigan was very curious about Chip, the dark dwarf who joined a couple of days ago. So he asked him what he was doing in the Black Pits.
The Underdark was a small-time stuff. I knew the only way to score it big was to get to the surface. Everyone here is all mine clean as this and that. Are you kidding me? I just slew that guy with the magic cloak upstairs. There is blood all over me and you're going to charge me for this win?
When I was on my way to my meeting with Floatsy, I met a new group of rival warriors.
So, you're the current favorite. May Tamora favor thee, until we meet in the Black Pits.
Just so you know, I don't need favors from some gods of trickery to defeat the likes of you.
That is the spirit I like to see. I look forward to seeing how you fare in your next battles.
They are obviously no match for us, my mistress.
This time around, his advice was not so uplifting as before.
When facing superior physical strength, be sure to protect the most vulnerable members of your party. And never forget that an attack can come from any direction.
Something tells me that Bailoff has a sinister surprise waiting for us in the arena. My premonition was enforced by the chatter of all the merchants in the green room. They seemed to know something we obviously did not.
With every battle you anger Bailoff more and more. Soon, he will pit you against an unbeatable foe.
So, you have not yet been eviscerated. You may allay my disappointment by buying more of my fine clothing.
You've lasted longer than anyone expected. I'd start taking bets if anyone nearby were man enough to speak to me.
The ones who have stymied Baldur. He says he wants a good fight, yeah, but he really wants good death.
You've made quite a splash in the arena, and I'm not even talking about the blood.
Your prowess in battle has become well known. Perhaps it was my weapons that tipped the balance in your favor. You're still alive. How? Bailoff surely would have destroyed you by now, or perhaps he is merely toying with you.
It doesn't matter. I welcome any adversity, but I'm not so sure about the others.
I'm afraid I haven't had time to arrange a suitable contest for this next round. Wait, do you feel that? Something trembles through the earth, like doom burrowing its way into the arena. There! Can it be? Yes! The biggest bugs that ever bored through the earth!
Hello, and as you might have noticed, there is no time for the foreplay, as Team Burngloria seems to be in a bad position.
Oh gee, that's bad.
It seems there are at least 2 Ankhegs waiting to pounce at our heroes. I wonder what are they going to do about that, and as you would do yourselves, they made a run for their squishy lives. And now clever play from Banter, as she summons some cannon fodder to distract green deathmongers from them.
It works nicely, well played.
Team Burngloria recomposes fairly quickly as they make a stand at a relatively safe distance.
I count 4. Oh no, there are 5 Ankhegs.
The odds are stacked against Team Burngloria, as they are pretty much one-shots for the Ankhegs. But now they go on the offense with a string of command and sleep spells, and they work marvelously well. It's clearly not a time to celebrate, as they are very buffy creatures.
Still, one of the Ankhegs poses a major threat to the whole party.
One of the Ankhegs is out, but our heroes need to accommodate dodging the sneaky bastards with making an effort to attack back. It's astounding how much beating those things can endure. One of them appears right in front of Unk, and she goes for a quick command. It works. Burngloria goes boldly for the Scorcher.
That's bad. Another one is out.
Burngloria makes a maneuver and goes for Dragon Breath. Another Ankheg is out. This time it's fried alive, but Unk takes some collateral damage. The combatants quickly recompose, and they go for the downed Ankheg.
That's a kill.
It looks like we are going for a game of whack-a-mole now, with the last Ankheg cheesing its innate ability to disappear at will. Look at C. Chippendale. He goes balls to the walls and tries to tank the Ankheg, so the team can focus fire on it.
I'm the priest.
Oh my goodness. His plan immediately backfires as he gets killed with a single attack from the Ankheg. Burngloria lands a hit as Unk avoids getting damaged and killed. Mordagain lands one shot.
Looks like I'm gonna have to go on a killing spree.
The Ankheg dodges the projectiles like Neo from the Matrix. Another hit from Elia. Finally, Mordagain delivers 1 point of damage, which is enough to take down the creature. With a single casualty, Team Burngloria stands triumphant.
After that last contest, I don't know whether to call you a gladiator or an exterminator.
Well, the last one went almost smooth. Curse you, Chip. You would make such a fine subordinate. Now I have to deal with this guy. His name is Ultimate Good Shiny Pants. I do not mean to be prejudiced, but come on.
1 hour later.
He did not swing his sword even once, and Elia and Banter are all over him. Well, I guess I have no choice but to forgive them this blatant show of weakness. They should be better than that. Every great warrior holds reins over his primal instincts. I guess they cannot be just like me, because there is only one like me. I am guessing last night was interesting for Elia, as she finally cheered up after Snaketail's passing. Anyways, Elia was happy enough to tell us that she worked as a florist in Barry Gost. That was until one fateful day.
I serve the flaming fist!
After all, I think the two of us might have something in common. Our caged rivals seem to be very confident about themselves, not so much about us.
Study our rivals, my friends. Identify their weaknesses, but show them none.
What will hurt the most? Fire? Acid? Lightning? So many delicious choices.
It is not in my interest to make them feel otherwise. Big Eyes was all but unhelpful, as usual. Once I was told that if something scares me, then it's best to imagine it sitting helplessly on a toilet. Big Eyes scares me, but it's kinda hard for me to imagine him in that scenario. Okay, I got sidetracked a bit.
When facing superior numbers, cast spells that deal damage over a wide area to even the odds.
We nearly used all the gold to buy me a brand new pair of cheetahs. This is the most useful thing for such a little arsonist as myself. We also bought a couple of invisibility potions if some of us would ever find themselves in a sticky situation. Or perhaps if the odds were stacked against all of us from the start. Okay, it's time to go.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back at the Black Pits for another round with Burngloria. This time around we have a new fighter replacing C. Chippendale, who was one shot by an ankheg in the previous bout. Matt, do your magic.
Thanks Renzo, my name is Met Demon and I am going to introduce you to the newest fighter, Mr. Ultimate Good Shiny Pants. He is a cavalier specializing in two-handed swords. As his resume says, all of the entireties of hell and the abyssal places recoil from the dazzling radiance of Mr. Ultimate Good's lustrous underpants.
That's kinda bombastic, but this show is all about bombastic things, so he should fit nicely. With this out of the way, let's get into the fight. As you might have observed, C. Chippendale has refused to properly kick the bucket, so most likely he will have the most immersive view of the fight.
I bet VR1 beat that one.
For our next contest, I have brought you nature's own Avenger, a deadly druid with his own assemblage of amazing arachnids to annex, annul, abolish, and annihilate their adversaries.
What a tactical misstep by the Spider-Man. He is all lumped into the middle of the arena with his minions.
I guess he does not know who he's facing.
And as expected, Team Burngloria goes for a tactical nuke right from the get-go, and the opposing force is nearly obliterated on the spot.
All that's left is one itsy-bitsy spider.
This is a carnage, not that we mind it. Magic missile from Gloria, and there goes the first frag for the ultimate good. The team does not even bother casting any spells as they just barrage the remnant of Harker's force. But Burngloria goes for the MF, just for the lols, and brings the druid down.
What is she up to now?
She goes up, and gets ready for another cast. She goes for the Scorcher and the smell of burnt spiders floats everywhere. She mixes it up a critical cut, and there goes the monster. It's fair to say that it's all over now. Still, Team Burngloria did not manage to rake in the fastest win in their career, but surely that was the easiest fight so far.
Again, you prove yourself a skilled swatter of insects. Perhaps what you need are some enemies with real backbone.
It would be better if Veloff would turn things up again, unless he wants the ratings to drop through the floor. Nevertheless, I am impressed by how Elia handles herself in the arena. I think I might tolerate her fondness of bright colors enough to offer her a job as my personal assassin, because every empire needs assassins. And so will mine. Much to my surprise, she declined. To quote certain ancient words of wisdom,
"If you're not with me, then you're my enemy."
I will personally deal with that nonconformity later.
The fateful hour draws closer. Ready yourselves, my companions.
As you wish, infallible Thespia.
Let's try these bars again, Poetica. It's no use. This present is too strong.
I can't break this lock, but how I would love to open Balor's throat.
Since they have all are kept in a cell, my guess is that they must be very dangerous. There must be something about them that makes them prison-bound. Anyways, the Pixie Baldur told me to disconnect from the little things and to focus on one thing that matters. The future. And apparently the nearest future was all about dead things walking.
When facing the undead, take precautions lest you succumb to the chill of the grave. And never overlook the power of a divine spellcaster.
Initially I was against the notion of sharing my newly acquired wisdom with the rest of the group. The problem was that I did not know how to strategically tackle the next battle. Reluctantly, I thought that a little brainstorming wouldn't do me any harm. The plan naturally included all of us participating in the battle, but we were kinda broke. And so, the plan had to be altered. I made a directive decision to split the group in half and to go in as a trio. I chose Ultimate Good and Unchi as my companions. Their skill set can give us a fighting chance if we had to improvise. And then I turned to Mortigan and said, if we will fail, you will continue what we have started.
Straight from the Black Pits, it's your tonight's host speaking, joined together by my fellow commentator, Matt Demon.
Hello.
Oh, now I feel a little bad about this one. I've allowed your opponents into the arena early so they can put their special talents to use. Try not to trip as you traverse the tricky territory.
Right from the start, we can see a very unusual strategy from the Team Burngloria, as they have decided to put forward only 3 warriors.
That's quite unorthodox, and I am pretty sure no one in the world would decide to go for the solution in the situation.
And it's on. It looks like Team Burngloria is up against some archer thieves into shadows. But what's that? Burngloria and Und go for the invisibility potion and doing nothing, as Ultimate Good goes forward.
That's a really bizarre thing to see.
It seems that their enemies are as confused as we are. They do not shoot any of the combatants and instead close in the distance. What is even going on here? They do not attack, but just stand really close to Burngloria and her companion, and they totally ignore the cavalier.
It's probably because he is protected from the undead, and it seems that their enemies are in fact undead.
This is actually a genius move from Team Burngloria. Mind-boggling tactic, but it works like a charm, as Ultimate Good chips away at their enemies.
I think that this can be a really long evening.
It looks like they know where they are, but they just can't attack them. Team Burngloria bet it all on one trick, and it slowly but surely pays off, as the cavalier swings at the archers. He misses more than he hits, but once in a while he lands the damage.
One eternity later.
It looks like they are some sort of vampires, as they morph into clouds of gas after they are dispatched.
Now Team Burngloria runs into a problem, as Ultimate Good Sword is no ineffective against the shadows.
Now they really wish that they had bought him a +1 sword.
It looks like Burngloria goes for some kind of maneuver, as she outspeeds the shadows thanks to her increased movement speed, and there she goes. She emerges from the shadows and lands magic damage on one of the creatures. It looks like Unk steps out of the hiding to help, as she casts magic stone from all the spells. Oh no, what's that? Apparently there was a trap planted in the arena that launched grease towards Burngloria. It kind of backfires, as it slows the shadows more than it does Burngloria. Actually, Burngloria is unaffected by the trap. Magic missile from Burngloria and it's down to one normal weapon resistant shadow. Another magic missile from Burngloria wears down the shadow. Ultimate Good steps up in effort to divert the shadow, and buy her some time. Burngloria goes for the +1 dance, but they go down in numbers really fast. She realizes it, and builds more distance to cast another spell, this time the Scorcher. And so, the last shadow is no more, and it's a flawless victory for Burngloria and her two companions.
I didn't think you'd sidestep all those traps I instructed them to set up. You should be a pile of constituent body parts right now. Bah! Take your reward and choke on it!
Hurry up, if you insist.
That was the most tense experience I ever had. It was unbelievable. And utterly cheesy.
Yeah.
But sometimes you do what you gotta do. To make this day even better, later that night I have finally managed to learn the greatest spell in the world. I don't think I will get any sleep tonight. After witnessing the display of my leadership and our collective dumb courage, Elia approached me together with banter. She told me she was sorry about declining my offer, but at the time she was not in the mood to talk about cloak and dagger stuff. To amend her mistake, she convinced Banter to join me as my personal assassins, but that's only if I wanted them to. Out of pure pride, I felt an urge to decline. But then the practical part of my brain instructed my mouth to accept their offering. And just like that, the three of us became BFF. Everyone was amazed that this plan went through. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's about time to admit that there is something unusual about Mortigan. He is a kind of rough diamond.
A diamond in the rough.
It's interesting that diamonds are pretty much metamorphosed coal, and coal is what makes things burn both easier and longer. And it's true. When the two of us talk about simple stuff, there is something that sparks within me. We celebrated our victory. It seems that we had what you could describe as good fun, until Unji got hold of a potion of intelligence. Luckily, she drank just a couple of drops, but she managed to tell me that I'd make a tasty steak. I did not have any fireballs left to cast today. In the morning I went to visit my dear friend Glurak, but once again I met our rivals.
Well done! You have proven to be a most effective leader, especially considering what you have to work with.
They cannot hold a candle to you, incomparable Thespia.
Silence your toady, Thespia! His mewling sickens me. Say the word, Thespia, and I'll snap Trickle's neck for you.
Yeah, perhaps you'd prefer I make this ingratiating smile, you know, like permanent and much wider.
Silence, all of you. The enemy is watching. Give them nothing.
As Beloth grows more desperate to stem the tide of your rising popularity, he will resort to an overwhelming onslaught of endless foes. You must cut off their reinforcements, lest you drown beneath their endless waves.
The advice he gave was very concerning. Sure thing we defeated those abominations last time, but I just don't get it. All of those items at the vendors are so damn expensive. In fact, our finances look worse with every fight, as we buy things we need just to get through. It's not like we have enough cash to pimp ourselves out to fight to our best ability. Those are not landslide victories in slightest, because even if we slay in the arena, afterwards the financing side of this endeavor sets us up for failure. And then, I came up with my own brilliant idea.
Right.
Ah, you have returned! Unfinished business, With which fight will you next astonish my attentive audience?
On it. Here I go. Here I go.
Har, har, har.
You prove yourself a skilled slaughterer. Perhaps what you need are some enemies within your back.
You could say all fools are naive. True, in my eyes Ultimate Good was a naive man, but certainly not a foolish one. To give credit where credit is due, he managed to connect with girls the way I was not able to. He saved my life. If he would not tank the damage through his armor, then we all would be dead. May eternal fire shine upon his pants. It seems that Helio liked Ultimate Good very much, as she was sad after his untimely death. She opened up a bit to me, and told me what happened after the rampage in Barry Gost. I promised her that one day, those will pay for this. They will be very sorry after we will. She looked at me with a sort of release in her eyes. "Thank you for being my true friend," she said. "It seems that our company got somewhat popular. There's always someone waiting in the lines to join us and pick up the bloody mantle." Mo was a longtime friend of Mortigan. In their high school times, They were in a cover band and jammed some slick Sepultura covers. At some point, Mo went solo, and became a successful pop musician. He was known for writing hit singles like Pause Me Baby One More Time, or winter holiday season smash hit Don't They Know It's Second Thundering. Mo sold multi-million gold piece albums such as RPG, Dark Side of the Turtle, Appetite for Fireball, my personal favorite. The word spread really quick. It looks like Elio was over Mr. Shiny Pants kinda fast. So the question is, what is he even doing here? Still, I can't really decipher what's up with Banter. This morning I spoke my prayers, asking the gods of the sun to bring me world domination. Please bring me world domination. Banda was with me in the chamber, and her eyes lit up like candles when I mentioned world domination. She was visibly excited, but she did not say anything. I don't know what kind of game she is playing, but it's weird.
My buddy the concoctor is ready to squirt out some more. Way to go! You've been really terrific down in the pits. Do you need some more potions? My buddy the concoctor is ready to squirt out some more.
Wait a second. What do you actually mean by saying squirt out some more?
Haven't you noticed? The concoctor doesn't mix ingredients in flasks and cauldrons and such the way a gnome alchemist would. He takes the ingredients into his own body, where they blend in exactly the right proportions before he excretes them to make the potions you need.
That's very unusual to say the least.
It certainly beats working in one of those expensive and smelly labs that ordinary alchemists use. I've gotten used to the concoctor's, well, mustiness.
We remembered the advice about the overwhelming onslaught of endless foes. We bought everything we needed and pressed on with the fight.
Welcome to the 9th battle at the Black Pits. It's your boy Renzo.
And it's your second boy, Met Demon.
Since Mr. Ultimate Good Shiny Pants died in the training montage, we are introduced to a new hero, a bard going by the name of Moselzak.
That sounds oddly familiar.
Sure it does, but take a look at that. It seems that, while we were off, our heroes have gained some muscle mass and skill.
Sure, it looks like it. They are sporting some nice buffs.
Some of my friends have come to me to confide their concern that I have favored quality over quantity. Well, who says you can't have them both? Here, with 5 endless avenues to excitement, is my friend and yours, the magnificent Ogre Mage!
The game is on. It looks like this fight is going to be a tricky thing to win. With no time to waste, our heroes go for a couple of summoning spells, while the rest focus on the Ogre Mage in the center.
It looks like the gas thingies surrounding the arena are Mephit spammers.
It was a good call to start off by summoning some meat shields, as this fight will be messy. Burngloria strikes to the right and launches a fireball right underneath her feet.
Absolute Machina.
It looks like the Mephit in the portal are immune to fire. With no time to waste, she locks on the Ogre with her minute meteors. And looks at that. Banter and Mo summoned an Ogre, and Mo goes for another summon, to fill their ranks on the front line. Elia fails to backstab as the Ogre springs back to his feet.
That's interesting. Mordogvan played a single riff on his guitar, and it confused the portal of all things.
I will crush!
Now both Banter and Mo go for a double acid arrow, and it looks like the Ogre might have a hard time casting spells. Burngloria closes in the distance, and goes for the animated skeleton. Summoned Ogre smacks the portal. Now there's a dog in a fight. Burngloria breaks social distancing, and stands face to face with the Ogre, burning him in the process. And now it's time for Banter and her magic missile. The Ogre Mage is out of the game.
Now it's time to clean the house, unless Burngloria and her friends want to get overwhelmed by quasits springing out of the portals.
The summoned Ogre destroys the first one, The zoo force fights the other portal, though they are outnumbered. Elia gets 10 damage from the acid. The zoo force kills the second portal. Mephits try to cast Enfeeble Mind on the skeleton, but he is like bitch please. Oversleeper Lotion manages to sleep in the middle of the fight.
And that takes real dedication.
For some reason takes out her anger on Kristoff. Team Burngloria might be in trouble as it seems that a golem spawned out of one of the portals. It duels with another summoned skeleton. The dog barks at the jello monster. Mordigane hits the flesh golem, and the doggo bites the jello, and he loves it. Team Skellige takes out another portal, while the Mephit watches helplessly. Mo goes for the chromatic orb, but now the golem is like bitch please. Team Skellige takes some damage, but they march on towards the next portal. Mordigane is like what the fuck is even going on here, but I will play some music anyways. Elia takes down the flesh golem with a backstab and the tide turns for Team Burngloria. The portals are closed, and it's time for a cleanup. Mo goes for the horror and it's somewhat effective. The Greyu slurps down Burngloria's magic missile, like it's a protein shake.
Well, actually, I like to put in the whole egg.
Banted decides to dart Kristoff, but look at that. Elia manages to backstab the ooze.
How's that even a thing?
It looks like Mo didn't like Kristoff either. Burngloria supports Doggo as it frantically barks at the Mephit. Skeleton slashes the Quasit for a whooping 26 damage as gets hit for 8. Oh no, the ogre is down, and the other skeleton promises vengeance. Giant Spider rushes in to save his zoo mate, but he is too late, as the Doggo goes to Doggo heaven. Elia obliterates one of the last Quasits with 24 damage, and it seems that Team Burngloria has earned another victory.
This time around it was well deserved.
Poison Spider poisons back the Quasit, but it's almost over as the rest of the party rushes in for the final kill of the evening. The team is victorious and throws some projectiles at Kristoff in an act of celebration.
That was hardly fair, routing your rival's reinforcements. But you have given me a great idea. What this contest needs are some fresh faces, and I have just the plan to provide some.
So far this was our hardest fight. It seems that Beloff has found his rhythm. Surviving the onslaught was a good enough excuse to get to know each other. After a couple of drinks, Mordigane asked Mo the question that was running through everyone's head. So he replied, "You know, I'm here because it's just fantastic and great fun." Mordigane told him to tell us a BS-free version of the story. So he said, "Only 2 things in life are certain, and one of them got to me." And as we were hanging out like this, I realized that I actually like all those goofy people. I observe that I feel comfortable around them and they are not bothered when I speak my mind. I told them that we will go to my favorite tavern called My First Inn, where the best food and ammunition is served. And the first round is going to be on me. Everyone cheered for that. After the party was done, we went to sleep. And yet, this day was not over for me. It was my greatest nightmare. I dreamed of all my power leaving my body. I became powerless, my inner fire died within me as I got consumed by ice. Until I could not move anymore. I must have been sleep-talking, as Elia woke me up to comfort me by saying it was all but a dream. I told her about it, and for whatever reason, she shared a real-life horror that happened to her after she escaped the prison. Together with Snaketail, Elia traveled to Nazgul. Once there she met and seduced the local mage. While he was sleeping, she found out that he was using daisy seeds as ingredients to brewing potions. She stabbed him multiple times, flayed him alive and nailed him to the doors of his house. I did not know how to relate to this story, but I thanked her anyways for sharing it with me.
At last you've won the right to face us. I relish the opportunity to defeat a worthy foe.
It will be just like the time you led us to glorious victory over those drow. With Thespia leading us, we cannot lose.
It will be nothing like that, you simpering lick-spittle. No one will get past me and Lucille.
And nothing will stop me from wetting my fingers in the tenderest of our foes.
Our next fight was to be the highlight of our career. Thespia versus Burngloria.
Some battles appear straightforward, but the difference between the opposing sides lies within rather than without.
Are you ready to spill the blood?
Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally here, and it's the battle we all have been waiting for. It's the ultimate David versus Goliath type of fight. It's Team Burngloria versus Team Thespia. Straight from the battlefield, it's your host Renzo.
And me, Met Demon.
It's going to be a might and magic versus just magic fight, since Team Burngloria is severely lacking in the melee department.
Enough is enough! I am a fair master, as long as my needs are served by you. But this is ridiculous! I need fresh blood, so I have plucked a new crop of combatants from the conjuring kingdom of Fae. Meet your replacements!
Question is if Team Thespia sees this weakness, or will they just pick another strategy for this fight? On the other hand, Thespia might be wary of any treachery that might await her.
That's true, as Burngloria is known for her unconventional tactics. And off they go. Team Burngloria starts by nuking their opponents right after the bout. They launched a mix of horror and glitter dust, along with explosive potion throw by Elia. 2/3 of Team Thespia are temporarily disabled. Team Burngloria wastes no time as they proceed to barrage Lucille with meteors and other projectiles. And she is out.
That was fast.
Mordegain runs around their foes playing really strange music in hopes of confusing their enemies. Elia tries to backstab Thespia.
Team Burngloria should spread unless they want something bad to fly their way.
Instead, Treacle goes full retard with a single target spell, but Unk saves and summons the skeleton for backup. Lucius gets meteored by now. And look at that. Mordegain and Burngloria teamed up to summon as much cannon fodder as possible right in Thespia's face. Lucius tries to cast, but is interrupted by Burngloria. Treacle fails to cast due to the acid arrow. Band casts Stealth Rust, and deactivates Thespia's magic protection. She quickly takes damage from the crazy town mob led by Elia. And look at that, unholds Lucius. Only Treacle is in a condition to fight.
This is an amazing battle. Team Burngloria did not waste any second on the arena floor.
Thespia is out, and Boudica is barraged by magic missiles and chromatic orbs.
DPS from Team Burngloria is astonishing. They mix up casting with ranged attacks seamlessly.
Unk smashes hell Boudica with her magic hammer, as the rest of the summons close in for the kill. Treacle decides to go off radar.
Red Tom goes down and Boudica runs in horror.
It's 11 versus 1 now. Treacle re-emerges with a spell, but he is too late to save Boudica. He goes for the confusion spell and it kinda works, as half of his opponents are, well, confused. This does not stop them from going after him. He tries to run, but the damage keeps coming in. Elia lands a slash and the doggo bites him in the balls, and so he goes down. It's another flawless victory for Team Burngloria.
Get out! Get out of my sight before I burn your eyes from their sockets! Apologies. I seldom lose my temper before an audience. It's just that I'm so impressed by your performance that I find it difficult to express myself. I should be joyous, for with you, I have created the entertainment spectacle of a generation.
I don't want to rain on your parade, but seems that I became more popular than you.
It is somewhat irksome that the crowd roars louder for you than when I step out to introduce the combatants, but I shan't trouble you with the vicissitudes of show business. I shall find something far deadlier to trouble you with.
I think I heard that tune before. I hope you are a manly man of your word.
While you've done an excellent job of entertaining my guests, it is time to eliminate your exasperating endurance. Oh, that doesn't mean you won't go out with a bang. Far from it, in fact.
Never have I witnessed a mortal fret, Beloth, so I must confess to taking a certain pleasure in witnessing his dismay.
I was amazed how quickly we overpowered the most talkative foes we have faced to this day. Everyone did a truly great job. I observed that Mortigan became oddly quiet since Mo has joined our forces. I think it's fair to say that if he doesn't like himself, neither do I. I asked him what's up him being so quiet, but he responded with nothing but a stare full of regret. Finally he uttered some heavy words. I wish I had done some things differently in my life. I told him that this won't do him any good. I said that some things are truly lost only if we don't search for them. I don't know where I heard that quote, but I felt smart at the time of saying it. He looked at me, and smiled genuinely. I think I missed the scoop drying his grill. Later that day, Mortigan asked Mo how he managed to get so popular, to which he said, "Sometimes you do what you gotta do, and this equals to a lot of not caring what others think of your ideas." Elia did not feel so well this morning. I thought that as her BFF I should help her alleviate her problem. So I asked the concoctor if we knew any recipe for a potion that could help in this matter, so he gave a list of ingredients. The list was kinda unusual even for an anti-constipation potion, but who am I to doubt this talented, but funky-smelling creature? Nevertheless, Elia felt better within minutes. I was still bothered by the dream I had a couple of days ago. So I decided that I am going to ask Beloth what did he do to Thornton. I think he was kinda happy in his own way that I decided to speak with him. He gladly told me that it was his potion of depowerment he made by accident. He said that he tried recreating the effect multiple times, but failed. To make the matters worse, he lost his last vial of this potion. Funnily enough, he is so full of himself, that he doesn't care. While on my way to Mr. Big Eye, I saw the biggest creature I have ever seen.
What the hell are you?
Helsingenetten. I see that disgusting Majer Beloth has trapped you as well. You look competent, as far as small folk go.
We won't be trapped here for too long. Soon, Beloth will be dead, I assure you.
I see you are filled to the brim with fiery pract. Perhaps I shall stay my hand for a moment when we meet in the arena. But only for a moment. He lured me away from my huslider. After a furious slag, he stepped aside and let his pet djinn bind me. Were the circumstances similar for you?
Well, I was having a pint or two when suddenly a column of light appeared out of the sky. Burngloria, listen to me, they said, don't go to the light, stop where you are, turn away from it, do not even look at it, but I did. I gotta say, it was a frightening experience.
Forget whatever praise I may have heaped upon your tiny frame. Your success here must have been luck, for you certainly are no Krieger.
It seems that the big man can't handle a small joke.
I shall see you again, when it is time for you to die in the arena.
Well, since you get annoyed so easily, and it looks like you're not going anywhere, let me tell you some really good jokes about the likes of you. Big-mouthed, inbred, morons. So, what does a fire giant do inside of a volcano?
3 hours later.
Killing something can be easy, but keeping it dead is not. Take care, lest your fallen foes rise up again to haunt you. And always remember to dispose of the bodies.
Bluey was helpful as always. He hinted that we may have a troll problem in our next bout. Beloth should have known better. Trolls don't like being roasted, and roasting things is my favorite pastime. Few buffing spells later we were ready to rock and roll.
Good evening Underdark. Once again it's time to witness the mortal combat in full glory. As per usual, reporting from the crime scene it's Renzo.
And me, Met Demon.
As Team Burngloria did not suffer any casualties, they came back stronger than before.
That's right Renzo, and I'm wondering what Balaf has in store this time around for our undefeated heroes.
Tell me, which feeling do you enjoy the least? A foul set of clawed hands grasping at your neck? Or the painful, dissolving juices of slime creeping into your pantaloons? Wait, don't answer. You can have both.
It's trolls and slimes.
Well, that's kinda anticlimactic.
Let's not praise the day yet, as some things you just never know. Team Burngloria are quick on the offense, but what's that? It seems that Elia stopped the time and now casually strolls behind the troll's back. Mordigane goes for the grease to slow down the remaining foes. Slime hits Unk for 21 damage and slows her down, as Elia slashes the troll for 21.
Something tells me those are not your usual trolls and slimes.
Burngloria uses Dragon Breath on the incoming troll and look at that. In an effort to save Unk, Mordigane takes off his boots of steel and throws them to Unk.
What an awesome display of comedy.
Thanks to this ingenuity, Unk manages to back away from the troll, while Banter calls for spiders. Mo tries to down the troll with his offensive spin mixed with meteors. Elia stalks the troll that's nearly down. Mordigane shows off his new skill and calls the ice storm on the slime that's mixed up in grease. Mo takes down a troll, but he is bothered by another one. He gets hit for 22 damage, and he is in big trouble now. Elia throws him his boots to speed him up. Mo runs away from the troll and narrowly escapes the blast. Slime fires at him, and did you see that? Slime's projectile changed its trajectory, so it could kill Mo. He is out of the game. Mordigane fireballs the slime. It's fair to say that those three creatures are giving much trouble. Doggo attacks the slime. Banter hits the troll with an acid arrow. Unk animates a skeleton. Burngloria launches a fireball at the slime, and it's finally out. There goes another acid arrow from Banter and another skeleton to buffer the damage. Skeleton whacks the slime for 19 damage and Banter follows up with magic missile. Another skeleton is up. Burngloria meteors the troll and its kill. Whole team focuses their fire on last remaining slime. And there it is. A victory from Team Burngloria. A victory that cost them one casualty.
Oh, this is no fun. Your neck remains unscathed and your pantaloons are rapidly drying. What a waste of good slimes.
In the end, Mo neither avoided taxes, nor death. May the eternal fire shine upon his soul. The replacement part Dark Killing Machine arrived the following day. He reminds everyone of a certain actor, but no one can really pinpoint which one. So no party today. No one was in a mood for anything. The anger and a little bit of sadness got to me. I lost control and had a verbal fight with Banter. I proclaimed that the fire spells are the best, and she just shrugged it off and went the other way. But I stopped her midway and yelled at her that it would not hurt if she would actually speak back for once. Again, nothing back. Just a blank stare. Anyways, Elia was acting kinda strange. It seems she is deliberately ignoring me. To make matters worse, she gave Balaf some kind of envelope. A letter perhaps. Something really weird was going on behind the scenes. I thought to myself that I need to stay focused. We need to deal with our next battle, and according to Floatsy, this is not going to look pretty.
The simplest advantages are often the most effective. Never enter a battle without an enchanted weapon or 6.
Let me crush these Ettins, so we may have a proper slag.
I am going to confront Elia about that piece of paper later. Now it's time to prepare for the next fight. When Glurak spoke of simple advantages, I figured that he meant magically enhanced simple weapons that are dealing grunt damage. We thought we were ready, and so, we went in just as if we were prepared for anything.
Can I show you some of our new potions? Are you ready to feel love?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to another fight of the Black Pits. It's your host Renzo, together with my friend Met Demon. Met, please say hello to our audience.
Hello, and it's great to be back at it.
Right, so with this out of the way, let's get into the introduction of our newest combatant.
His name is Alistair and he is sporting astounding 4 hit points. Other than that, he likes magic missiles.
Fair enough. Let's hope he will just hang on throughout this fight, because the rumors are that there might be a whole lot of smashing tonight.
That's what she said.
While subtlety can be deadly, who doesn't love a good, straightforward beating? And what beating isn't better with bigger brawlers? Watch as these brutal behemoths batter their enemies to bloody rubbish.
And look at that. I'm wondering how they are supposed to handle that.
This is a bit overboard.
Lads and lasses, you better strap yourself in, because this might get really ugly. Nearly whole team decides to hit the emergency button and vanish into the shadows. Only Burngloria lingers. Unk decides to go for it, but her attacks miss. Now she kites, and she kites like a pro, giving some time for Burngloria to utilize her meteors more efficiently. They dance around the arena, while their partners look on helplessly. Burngloria lands one, but Unk decides to drink the potion too, and now we are watching a massacre in the making. It's one tiny half-elf versus 6 brutish creatures. I'm not sure what to make of it yet, but it looks like Burngloria is up to something.
I think I see where this is going.
I think I see it too, but let's not rain on the parade here, because with Burngloria you just never know. And yes, she goes for it, and it's effective. I'm pretty sure it cost her stone skin, but the damage she has done was probably worth it. Now she kites again. She circles around the arena and goes for the meteor, and another one.
This girl has some balls of fire on her.
That's right, no doubt about that. She is a total show stealer. She replenishes her meteors and dodges a golems to her left. She fixates on a single target and chips away at it.
At this point, this is the only strategy they are able to take. Those clay golems would have smashed through them like nothing.
には乗っていた服だぞ。自称ファッションリーダー、こんなところで死ぬな。だがイベントに出ると大喜利ばっかりやらされる。何も知らないくせに。服のセンスが悪かったんだ。悪かった。
She mixes things up with the magic missile to deal some quick damage at the only not magic resistant enemy. It works pretty well. She replenishes her meteors again, and dodges at the last minute. And now she wears the ring of energy and targets the shambling man with it. It's out.
Unfortunately, the golems are immune to the ring's effects. Otherwise it could have been a pretty fire show.
She gets back with a meteor strategy, and it makes you wonder how many meteors she has left in her tank. And will she be able to take down all of the golems this way? She goes for a meteor replenish, and again she manages to avoid Golem's attack. How much health do those creatures have anyways?
Far too much for her liking, and I've lost count myself.
And finally she does it. She takes down the first golem. 4 more to go.
Be right back.
And so the dance continues, and the meteors are flying left and right. Burngloria pecks away at the health bar of the weakest golem. Slowly but surely, he goes from badly injured to near death. She is down to 2 castings of Melf's miniature meteors, which is precisely 18 projectiles. Is it gonna be enough to even the odds? 16 now. The golem is still just badly hurt, and there are 3 more besides it. I begin to wonder what's her next plan, because it starts to be clear that she won't make it. He is near death, ladies and gentlemen, but still he refuses to die, and she did not make it in this batch of meteors. Is she going to pull it off again? Yes, she does it, straight to their face. 7, 6, the golem is out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
だがイベントに出ると大喜利ばっかりやらされる。
It looks like Elia the Shadow Dancer is going to join the action, as the darkness is her ally. Burngloria kites. Elia stalks the weakest golem. She does 4 damage. It's the double kite game now. Elia disappears before Golem's hollow eyes and Burngloria continues to kite the remainder. Elia waits and attacks. She does another 5 points of damage and quickly retreats. Burngloria kites, while Elia waits until the round ends to slip away again. Elia goes in again, but she has trouble with acquiring the target. She misses and oh my goodness, it's over for Elia.
That is bad. It took only one hit. Let's take a closer look at that.
It looks like those golems have lightning fast reactions. One miss and the golems ganged up on her, ending her life swiftly. Something really strange happened there to Elia's abilities.
The golem dealt a whooping 52 points of damage and it even wasn't a critical hit.
That's enough damage to one-shot nearly everyone on Team Burngloria besides Unk, and she has a measly 5 hit points more. That's a really bad situation, as the team lost their only character that was able to disappear without the use of potions, and that puts them in a huge disadvantage. Burngloria went for a timeout, and it looks like a change of strategy again. The golems have a general sense of the whereabouts of their enemies, but they cannot pinpoint their exact location, so they move about frantically. This will make landing backstabs extremely difficult. If Team Burngloria runs out of the potions, it can easily turn into a conventional battle. They try to spread out the golems, but they manage to keep together. Baldur goes for a backstab with a staff, but she continuously fails to land a hit. But finally she does it.
This is a true drama on the arena floor.
She disappears again, and perhaps the team should consider if Baldur is the one for that job, as she has the least amount of health points besides Zenobia Laster. But it seems that they stick with the plan, as Baldur is on the prowl for another hit.
I didn't expect kind of Spanish Inquisition.
And what a surprise, Unk smacks 15 damage at the golem, and it seems that she's the one that will carry the fight from now on.
She is not a fighter, but surely she acts like it.
Unk takes her sweet time to approach the weakest golem. It looks like she is surprisingly smart about it. As golems gang together to cover their backs, she misses and Unk gets punished with instant 40 damage.
Now she is left with 15, and we can say that it was a good call for Unk to take over, else Baldur would be a pancake by now.
Fortunately, she is able to heal herself with potions in the shadows.
Now we can see that they are down to 11 potions of invisibility, which is equal to 11 tries to backstab.
It's not a great number, given the great health pool of those constructs. Unk is back up to 51 hit points. The team spreads out further, and Unk stops to think.
I did not know it was a thing for her.
She misses the first swing. She lands the hit and we are down to 2 golems. Unk makes a dodge and disappears with the use of a potion. She stalks her prey and hits with her smash stick for 13 solid damage. She retreats and goes for another one. The cycle continues. It's another 15 damage from Unk, and it's down to one last golem. She goes for the kill now. Once again, she smacks for 17 damage and the golem is now badly injured.
It's still too early to celebrate victory.
It's all in the hands of the RNG by now. That's a solid smack for 13 points and Unk is quick to retreat faster than the golem's lightning fast reaction. Now we wonder if we are going to witness the death blow. Unk swings. It's a hit. Good gods, Unk has made it. Team Burngloria survives, but it's with yet another casualty.
What a despicable display of enchanted weapons! It's almost as if someone gave them advice. Was it you, Najin?
No, my master. I obey your every command. If anyone counsels them, I assure you, it is not I.
That was the hardest and the saddest fight of our careers. It was a long string of last-ditch efforts, all sewn together by Lady Fortune herself. Elia is gone, and we were nearly smashed out of the arena. After the battle, we gathered to pay our respects. The new girl called Nax was not talking much, but still she drew the looks of all men present. We all complimented Unji on how brilliant she was in the last fight. What she lacked in wits, she made up in bravery. To brighten up the moods, me and Mortigan played a little trick on her. We spiked her drink with a bit of potion of intelligence. After a couple of minutes, we found out that we are the closest thing that she had to a real family. Slightly defective, but still a family nonetheless. She said that she was sad because of the pretty pink girl, as in her resolve, Elia reminded her of her last son. She was sure that despite her colors, the gods of shadows would honor her in the afterlife. She says that after we leave this pretty cage, we will bring fire to cities and eat human babies for breakfast. That display of camaraderie has encouraged Alistair to shed some light on his dark persona. He said that when he saw the magic missile for the first time ever, he knew he had to become the world's best magic missile guy. He tried to gain some experience by taking up a job as a rat exterminator, but it was not the kind of experience he was hoping for. When the party was all over, I was pretty bummed out. Elia was someone I felt really connected to. I was angry that she did not get the justice she deserved. I haven't said a word, but Mortigan told me not to worry. He said that he will join me on a quest to avenge her. He told me that we will kill those flaming fist bastards and recycle them into a flower fertilizer. Then we will use this fertilizer to grow a garden, which everyone will be amazed with. This will be the justice she deserves. What I have then realized is that Mortigan was always there for me, so much so that I have not even noticed that I told him about Elia's past. And with that, I realized that I might be a terrible secret bearer. Besides that, it occurred to me that there is a side of him that I did not know. On the following morning, I found myself speaking alone with our newest team member, Nax. When she heard that her brother died by the hands of some dumbass ogre mage, she joined the Black Pits to wash away the shame her brother has brought upon their family.
Now what? You need something?
She was so bent about proving herself, that she even volunteered to be subject of Bailoff's depowerment potion. She threw away all of her powers to be here with us.
I'm on it like Ugly on an orc.
That's the kind of spirit we need around here.
Winter is coming, and you must be prepared for its frozen breath.
When I heard the advice, I was beginning to wonder if it was some kind of a joke, or did Bailoff have something special up in his sleeve.
Are you ready to spill blood on the arena?
Good evening everyone, it's your host Renzo, and together with Met Demon, we are here to witness the 13th battle of those series.
Yes, and we are wondering if this battle will bring bad luck to Team Burngloria.
Met, my dear friend, please introduce us to the newest combatant.
Her name is Nax. She is the sister of the late Zan, who had a devil cameo role in surviving Baldur's Gate series.
From the uttermost reaches of the Great Glacier, I bring you a frozen treat unlike any you have enjoyed before. Thrill to the fearsome ferocity of these frosty foes.
Anyways, I feel a cold chill down my spine, and it's a sign that we are about to begin.
Well, that's an odd choice of enemies.
That's right, and as if you might have predicted, Team Burngloria opens with 4 fireballs.
Burngloria detonates the last one on herself.
She is simply loving it. Our heroes quickly follow up with a slew of projectiles and meteors. Sneaky ice salamanders manage to heal themselves. Max uses the flame ring to flame strike one of the salamanders, nearly destroying it. Untanks 2 salamanders, but takes some damage. Burngloria takes 3 of them, while being protected by multiple defensive spells. Max takes a stroll to see the salamander closer, which reminds me of a certain situation. Mortigan destroys the salamander and Burngloria uses dragon breath on lumped salamanders. Max enjoys a fire show. Magic missile guy does his thing. Max casts grease on the salamander cleric, thinking it would be cool if it was flammable.
That is some bold action coming from our devotee.
Untanks some more damage, while meteors fly over her shoulders. Another magic missile from Banter and the magic missile guy. Burngloria goes for another danger close fireball. She follows up with a meteor, and the cleric is KO. Magic missile from the magic missile guy kills one of the salamanders. Banter launches a fireball at Burngloria, and she likes it, but the salamander's next to her, not so much.
Double kill.
There goes a volley of meteors at the helpless remaining salamander. GG Team Burngloria.
Confound it! Why couldn't you have anticipated my surprise? What's happening?
That was a surprisingly very underwhelming fight. No one bets on a flock of sheep fighting one bad and ugly wolf. Especially if that wolf is willing to detonate fireballs on herself. I was still bothered about how Banter avoids me since our talk on the fire spells. She completely ignored me and was seemingly not willing to talk. And this girl named Nax. She has some real talent and bravery. Also, I had to hand it to her. She has a natural aptitude to make connections with people. She told me in private that she heard stories about Baldur. When she was a child, her older sister ripped out her tongue because she was afraid that she would become a better mage than her. I was shocked. I never felt shame and regret like this. I felt so bad about it that I wanted to talk to her, but we had to go and fight our next battle. I don't understand why people do not want to be straight with me. Somehow it pains me that Baldur was more confident in telling her story to others, but not me. Once again, we were kinda short on cash. And we need that gear, there is no doubt about that. And so, we decided to exterminate the local population of ice salamanders.
Which battle are you in? On the job. Don't forget to collect your equipment. Anything left in the arena, leave that to the Artyom.
When I joined the Black Pits, I knew there would be a good amount of pain involved. What I did not expect is that the pain I am going to be experiencing will be another kind of pain. I could say that most of the physical pain I experienced has been a somewhat pleasurable experience. But now I feel something else. I killed Baldur. Even though it was an unfortunate accident, she still died by my hand. Not many people can say that they killed their friend, but I was among them. I have let others down, and in doing so, I have let myself too. I realize that I am lacking emotional intelligence. I have judged others too quickly. I have not been observant enough. So from now on, I am making a promise to myself. I promise that I will not judge others so damn easily. I will try to appreciate people for who they are. I will try to stop constantly measuring others to my own standards. I think it's fair to say that I have been so full of myself to the point that I've failed to see the pain in others. I thought none of it concerns me, but this way of thinking failed me even from a pragmatic point of view. No one can rule the world without being in touch with his immediate surroundings. I regret that I did not make things right with Baldur. I haven't tried enough. But it was not the end of my horror. wasn't long before it happened again. And again, only after seeing someone perish. I did some examination of my conscience. I failed to make my Unji someone better. She had potential. Maybe there was something I could do to elevate her a bit, instead of treating her like a simple bag of muscles. Even though I made all of those promises to myself, it was hard to keep my emotions in check. I was down in a hole. Killing all those ice creatures did not bring me any fun. Everything seemed to be washed out of orange and red color. Nax told me that she understands the way I feel, because once she lost someone who was like a family to her too. She said that the only thing that helped her was this potion that she used to inject herself. When I was alone with myself, I thought I would try it. And then came Mort again. When I saw him that day, I somehow felt disconnected from all the negative emotions that were plaguing me, and then he told me that it is all okay. He said that I do not want to go this way. He reminded me that I have the blood of a dragon, and the blood of a dragon should not be tainted. He said that maybe it would bring me a moment of relief, but in the end it would make me all numb and muddled. He said that everyone needs me at my best. He said he needs me. He was right. He was so damn right. So I dug myself out of this wretched hole, and I felt like a phoenix rising from the ashes. I thanked Nax for her attempt to help me. We got 2 new faces on board. One of them is this beautiful warrior lady. I can't understand a word she is saying, as she can only talk a few sentences from the common tongue, and yet, every time I see her, she is chatting with Mort again.
Sono rapido e agile nella difesa, ma la tua morte è la mia prossima impresa.
This makes me feel very strange. But the question is, why do I care so much? The other one is very interesting. He has a very crude and powerful appearance, but his head seems like it is occupied by a mind of a most amused child, that got stuck in this monster of a creature. The missile guy told me that he actually remembers him. The story goes that he used to be a noble knight from Baldur's Gate. He was called Gordian Bluthon. But he was captured and fell victim to Balor's ruthless transformation experiment. He remembers that as a human he used to be the funniest person in the tavern.
Yes?
A skeleton goes into a bar and asks the barman for a beer and a mop.
Alistair explained further that Balor wanted to find out if he could create a mindless killing machine to prove if the body can triumph over mind with brute strength. But even the most buff dudes know one thing.
Rambo, you can feel totally safe because we have the most advanced weapons in the world available to us.
I've always believed that the mind is the best weapon.
The concoctor says he's become your biggest fan. He's glad you've done so well in the arena.
Speaking of the magic missile guy, Nax was extremely jealous of his power to cast his signature spell. The more I think about it, the more I realize that the ice salamanders were a test of my character, not of my power. Balor wanted to test my pride. He hoped that in my confidence I would make mistakes. He was right. But thanks to Mortigan, we pushed forwards with more resolve and strength than ever. It was rather obvious that after dealing with the ice monsters, the fire giant will await us in the arena.
I will shatter this conjure-reich of yours, Baloth. I will watch it burn while I look upon your bones.
No less powerful than ice is flame. Protect yourselves or prepare to burn.
So we took every possible precaution. We drank a lot of potions and cast every buff we had. After that, we were ready to fight fire with fire.
Are you ready to spill blood on the arena?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you thought that any of the previous battles was a David versus Goliath type of fight, then you were wrong. This is your host Renzo, joined by one and only, Met Demon.
Hello everyone, it is me, Met Demon. It looks like we got new faces to introduce to our audience.
Yes, Met, please do the honors.
Ladies first then, sporting dual katanas and a longbow, it's Dahiga, a Fighting Pits veteran. Our second newcomer is a former Baldur's Gate knight, now cursed into a body of an orc, going by the name of Goth Lord.
Let's take a look at their stats.
As you can see, Dahiga is a well-balanced DPS warrior, while on the other hand, Goth Lord is lacking in several stats, but he is gifted with superhuman strength and condition.
Those are pretty intriguing characters, and it seems that Team Burngloria acquired 2 frontliners, but they no longer have a cleric in their ranks.
That's right, their team consists of 3 casters, 2 fighters and a bard.
This should make this fight intriguing, as today they are facing the biggest rival of Burngloria, both physically and domain-wise.
I nabbed this big fellow from the plane of fire, and my, is he ever angry. I'm even having a little trouble keeping this one in check. Begin the battle before this big belligerent breaks loose!
It's the fire giant named Hoggerol, and they're on. Team Burngloria focus their fire on the giant, while Goth Lord wards off the fire elementals. Burngloria goes for the Blizzard Dust. Max casts summon monsters to tank some damage. Alastair casts Cloud Kill. But what's that? Hoggerol slams his fist into the ground and knocks out all the casters.
That's no good. They are now open for punishment. They're lucky that they are protected by stone skins and mirror images.
Goth Lord and Dahiga take care of the first fire elemental, and he explodes on his death. It looks like Team Burngloria were prepared for this, and they take no damage. Mordigane casts Great Immersion and it works very well. The sorcerer fires magic missile, and so does Mordigane. The fire elementals die left and right from combined powers of Dahiga and Goth Lord. Kobold Commando absorbs Giant's attack. Everyone goes for the giant and his health bar disappears rapidly. Mordigane goes for the horror which unexpectedly brings Kristoff back from the dead.
It just seems that this dude cannot die. I think he is actually immortal.
Hold monster does not contain the giant, but it works on the fire elemental. The team continues to deal lots of damage to Hoggerol. Max casts reduce resistance and the giant should take even more damage. Hoggerol manages to knock out Burngloria, Alastair, and Mordigane. Goth Lord goes off script to attack Kristoff. Dahiga brings down the fire giant with her ice out. Just for the lols. She goes off on Kristoff too. Teen is back up again and all is left to finish is the held fire elemental. Goth Lord slashes 419 and ends its existence.
From now on, this tournament can only go one way.
That's totally right, and I think it's gonna be all-out war.
It appears I have miscalculated once again. I grow tired of this game. Begone! You are beginning to bother me.
I never thought this day would come again. Surely Baloth will have to fight you now.
Don't you worry, my brother. After I defeat him, you and all the others will be free.
You've done even better than the last champion. You're not just a great pit fighter. You're a real hero.
Now even the fire giants bow to my mastery of their domain. I think it is fair to say that Baloth has run out of all of his tricks. I am sure of one thing. The time has come to face him in the next battle.
You're not so bad for an outsider. I hope you don't end up like the last champion who fought Baloth.
Purchase what you want quickly, outsider. I have no wish to speak with you. Found it! The contractor says he's become your biggest fan.
Today I passed by Mordigan and he seemed kinda sad. I've asked him what happened. He told me that he is sad for Nahaiga, because when she found out that he is the only one here that can understand the black speech, she poured her heart into him. She did not talk to anyone in months. When she was a child, her family was killed by a tribe of orcs. Once she was a teenager, they sold her to slavers operating in the slums. Her talent caught the attention of both rich and powerful. As long as she made her captors heaps of gold, they could not be convinced to sell her away. They noticed her aptitude for fighting, so she was trained to become a deadly pit fighter. This ordeal lasted for many years, until one fateful day.
Come vuoi, consideralo fatto.
Cosa? Davvero una cosa da poco.
I'm a locksmith. And I'm a locksmith.
Cosa sta succedendo? Perché non andiamo avanti?
Ok, va bene.
Vi ammazzerò tutti!
Just by the skin of their teeth, they managed to escape the copper coronet. Her savior was gone. Later on she found out that he was captured and killed in Baloth's Black Pits. While still mourning, she came here to exact her revenge. Mordigan said that everyone here is after having someone dead, but in all of this madness, he thinks he has found his own very different meaning. He said that he wants to own his own music store. He wants to create a space in which young musicians would feel most welcome and encouraged. And at this moment, something moved in me. I think I have never heard anything more heartwarming than this. There was no more time. We had one nasty dark elf to obliterate and to regain our freedom. After that we could see to his life purpose, the two of us together. Before we prepared for the final fight, I went to say goodbye to my good friend Glurak.
You have triumphed. As much as I appreciate your efforts in clearing my path, now it is the time for my victory.
What are you talking about?
I shall offer you no further advice. I would suggest that you simply lay down your arms and embrace death, as it will be easier for everyone involved.
I did not suspect you would be picking a losing side. Join me and together we will be victorious.
I cannot. And I would not if I could. I will not risk bringing down the anger of Baloth while he still holds some power over me. You will die, and I will be free.
You will not stop me. I have become more powerful than either of you.
Do you truly think that I will allow myself to be destroyed by the likes of you when my freedom is nearly at hand?
Correcto.
Come now. We are both creatures of intellect. Perhaps one of us more than the other.
You're right about that.
I do not wish to cause you undue suffering. Go now, and make whatever death rituals are necessary for your species.
If you had any legs, then you'd understand what it means to shoot yourself in the foot. On top of that, now I'm convinced your ever-flapping tongues could use some trimming.
Boom. Roasted.
Before you decided to turn into a douche, it was nice talking to you. Au revoir. Something tells me that he gave us all of this advice because he regarded us as instrumental weaklings. Actually, it has to be true. He helped us to bring us to the top because he thought he could easily defeat us. He thought that if he would provide us easy victories with no meaningful battle experience, then he could wipe us off the arena with ease. We were means to his many ends. Means to regain his freedom. I also think there's a reason why we have not faced him before. I believe that Glurak might be some kind of ace in Bailoff's pocket. But Glurak made one crucial mistake. His pride and sense of superiority got the better of him. His mistake was to tell me that he would join Bailoff, and by doing so, he gave us the final advice we needed. As one wise man once said, he will win, who prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared. And that's exactly what we are going to do.
If you're sure that's what you want.
Ah, you have returned! Had I known you would grow to become such a thorn in my side, I would have left you when I found you. You must be very proud of defeating all of the challenges that the great Bailoff has placed before you. How furious you must think I am! Surely, you are on the very edge of freedom! No. No escape. No more tricks. No performances. No more last-minute victories. Your lives end here. But at least your wish will be granted. I will personally face you in combat. Your antics grew stale long ago. Garrick, draw your blade and enter the arena with me. You and I shall bleed these creatures to death. Slowly.
With pleasure, Bailoff. I was hoping you would grant me the honor of cutting down these impertinent mortals.
Bailoff! Grant me a place at your side in this battle. I wish to see these creatures slaughtered firsthand.
Traitor! How could mine own cousin side with our oppressor?
You have driven me to it, cousin, with your whispered insinuations.
By standing with this drow, you admit your guilt?
I won't deny it any longer. Bailoff found me before he came to our warrens. He spared my life in exchange for information on our defenses. With his mighty spells, he would have overcome them anyway. Why should I have sacrificed my life to buy the rest of you just a little time?
You are no blood of mine, you foot-licking craven! You betrayer! I'll destroy you myself!
You are welcome to try, cousin. You cannot hope to succeed when I stand beside Bailoff!
Such a dramatic turn of events. Gorch, would you mind repeating that splendid rant of indignation on the arena floor? I thought not. Garrick, Tartek, to me! Together we will traumatize these tenacious troopers.
It's the moment we all have been waiting for. It's the finale of the finales. The fight of the decade. It's Burngloria vs. Bailoff the Entertainer. Here with me, it's my co-host, Met Demon.
Hello Renzo, and oh boy I gotta admit, I'm pumped for this one.
Let's jump straight into this. Team Burngloria wanted to score quick damage, but Bailoff blocks with contingency. And would you look at that? Kristoff has joined the fight.
This is totally unbelievable. Why is he not dead?
Team Burngloria quickly raises their defenses with Summon Monster Wand and they quickly get to business. Bailoff gets hit by Spell Thrust and a double breach. It seems that his defenses are already gone as he takes damage from the meteors. Gothblort deals massive blows to Thudek as he begins to understand his biggest mistake. Beowulf counterattacks with a fireball, but the team dodges it, and Burngloria embraces it. Beowulf disappears behind the flames as he is hit by a barrage of magic projectiles. Gothblort strikes Thudek 446. Elan casts Chain Lightning as he got annoyed by Kristoff back scratches, but it does nothing. Thudek dies from the fire shield. The lightning chases after Mord again, as he tries to lead it far away from the others. Dahiga hits, Gothblort hits, and again. Gothblort punishes the drow for 42 damage. The barrage continues. Another breach. Beowulf is out. I repeat, Beowulf is out and down. Elan casts lightning, but it has a small impact on the fighters. Elan is in big trouble, as he is the last man standing on Beowulf's side. Gothblort shows who's his daddy. Mord again celebrates by playing a tune that confuses the Rakshasa. Dahiga cuts for 42 damage. Gothblort follows up with 21, and then 30 to critical, which chunks him into pieces. Fatality.
I am left speechless.
Team Burngloria wins. They are the champions of the Black Pits.
This is all a terrible cliche. Unworthy of a final entertain.
Freedom! With the death of this unworthy drow, the arcane shackles fall away from my soul. Now, as for the rest of you mortals, to demonstrate my gratitude, I will open a portal to transport you back to the surface world. Do not tarry long. The Durgar will not long suffer your presence in their domain.
We became free again. I think Glurak was smart enough not to pick a losing side. Or perhaps Beowulf was so caught off guard by our barrage of spell breachers, miniature meteors and arrows, that he did not have a chance to call upon the Beholder. So we said our goodbyes to our friends and foes at the Black Pits.
You've done it! I admit at first I didn't think anyone could free us from that mad drow. Especially not you, anyway.
Belos knew exactly how to torment me by keeping me from my beloved Magda. Thanks to you, I once more have her strength to add to my own.
Despite our gratitude, you must not remain here for long. The other members of our clan will not take kindly to finding an outsider among us.
Go and take our thanks with you. We cannot defend you against our own people.
You have my appreciation. I will not feast on your brain today.
Thanks, we appreciate that.
You're the best! Until you came along, I didn't realize how much Beowulf had shaken my courage. I'll try to follow your example from now on and face all my challenges with confidence.
It's good to hear that.
The concoctor knew it from the start. You're a real hero. We'll tell everyone we meet in the Underdark about the champion of the Black Pits.
Come now, mortal. I will not remain here any longer.
No! No! I will not have this! I should have been the one to slay Belos, not some miserable outsider!
You would do well to fear a woman. Death comes for you!
Are you ready to leave the Black Pits?
First, I have a question. How many genies does it take to change in lamp oil?
Do not test my patience, mortal.
The genie insisted that we had to leave immediately. And so we did. And there we were. We found ourselves in the middle of the Walking's promenade, just how I asked Najim. I never thought I would be so happy to simply feel the sun on my skin. I could finally get off vitamin D. There was so much to do, so much to see. We enjoyed our freedom, so much so that I took my companions on a tour around the city. For the first time ever, I appreciated it for what it was. This is where people go to forego their family fortune and riches.
Lasciate che vi mostri come si fa.
That's one way to look at it.
How dare you!
After we were tired from walking all over the place, it was unknown to me that there were so many things to experience. Our team composition and our shortcomings did not matter anymore, because as long as we were there for one another, we could face any challenge. We evolved into a true team. There were plans to be realized, and with our combined talents, fortune to be made. Long time ago we planned what we would do in this very moment. Promise is promise. We went to the fabled night for sin. We went in to get near dead drunk, fill our guts with the best food in town. We remembered our fallen friends. A couple of days have come and gone. That's when a traveling bard came to the place we were staying at.
I found you, and not a moment too soon. You're in danger. Danger, I tell you.
This doesn't have anything to do with the village that burned down last week, does it? Because I wasn't involved.
I was attacked by a group of bounty hunters.
I hope this escape not involved your telling them where to find us.
No. Maybe. Wait. Something is wrong. We're in an ambush. Careful. I suspect the bard's not really a bard. You will not take me alive.
No one expects the Spanish Inquisition!
Oh. Want to take a look with me, Diddy?
It's about time you came through for me. I was beginning to wonder whether your incompetence was... Wait. This isn't right! You fool! I am not fully revived! I am diminished, damaged, and dangerously deteriorated. Why, I've even lost some of my perspicacity. Najim? Are you even listening? My most obedient servant, friend! Where are you? Surely you aren't going to leave me up here? Ah, you conniving cur! I will crack your realm wide open and drag you into this plane of... Oh. Hello. Well, this is awkward. Greetings, friendly, surface dweller. You wouldn't happen to know the direction of the nearest entrance to the Underdog, would you? This is particularly problematic for a popular power player such as myself. How could I forget? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Baloth Baratil, more commonly known as Baloth the Entertainer. Yes, I know, that Baloth. Fall to your knees and beg for mercy. I'm sure you know the drill. Perhaps you aren't as cultured as I had assumed. In any case, it seems that I am in a bit of a bind. I am unable to return to my home, left bare to the boundless barbarism of the surface world. You must be crawling with questions, but first, let me elucidate recent events. Perhaps many of your petty ponderances will be answered.
3 hours later.
Things went quite swimmingly until some upstarts tricked me into facing them in battle. They cheated, of course. But I am nothing if not calculatingly cautious, and so I instructed that gin jerk Najim to grant me a final wish, that I be protected from death. Oh, he granted that one all right. I do not make it a habit to beg others for aid, and I prefer to lend favors rather than request them. Even in this diminished state, I must remain one of the top 5 spellcasters in all the realms. If someone were to offer me martial protection, I'm sure I could be of great help to whatever it is you're doing. No! No, 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 no! Don't leave me here, you moronic miscreant!
It is entirely unsociable. Don't poke Drizzt.
Oh, come on!
I've sparred with demons from the 9 hells themselves.
Exit stage.
I shall barely break a sweat here today. Don't poke Drizzt.